everyone. My name is Brandi Fox with Be the Entrepreneur, and I am super excited to be here with you tonight. And host LaNiece from my amazing
Hello.
LaNiece Okwara. How are you?
I am wonderful. How are you doing this evening?
I am doing great. I'm super
That is good.
excited. Oh yeah, thank you. I am super excited to have you on tonight.
Me
We are going to be
too.
talking about some amazing things about anybody
Definitely.
who who has left their job and are now in that full-time entrepreneur mindset, and they're trying to figure out what to do, how to do it, how to get their schedule together. We're going to talk
Right.
about all that good stuff today.
Awesome.
Before we get started, we're just going to do a little introduction for you guys. If this is your first time watching our show, my name is Brandi Fox. I am the owner of Be the Entrepreneur Consulting Agency, and we specialize in simplifying the startup process for minority businesses. I do work with anybody, but my passion, my love, of course, is for my minority brothers and sisters. And tonight you're tuning in to Talk It Out. It's a solution-based virtual chat to support minority entrepreneurs. So what we do differently on this chat is not only do we talk about the issues plaguing entrepreneurs, but we also give you action-based tips to go ahead and overcome those barriers. So our goal, of course, is to always be solution-based. So thank you guys for joining us tonight. Today, we will be talking about transitioning into full-time entrepreneurship. So you said you want to do it, or you've done it, or you're about to do it soon, and you're trying to figure out how to manage your lifestyle, how to really transition. Because LaNiece, you know and I know that full-time mind space is totally different than working. It's totally different. So we're gonna get into that. But if you are not following me on social media, you follow me at b.the-entrepreneur, and that's on Facebook, Instagram, or Talk It Out on YouTube. I post content every day helping startup entrepreneurs get that process going. Whether you are an entrepreneur that's kind of already have your business and you look to pivot, or if you've been thinking about this amazing business idea for years and you like, you know what, it's time for me to make some money. I'm telling you, right now is the time for you to start that business and make some money. And we're going to go ahead and give you some tips on how you can do that. So, a little bit, and let me get this, a little bit about my guest today, Miss LaNiece. So we met, of course, I always like to talk about how I meet people when I have them on the show. So this would be no different. So LaNiece, I'll let you drop it.
Wow. So we go way back.
2009, baby, 2009.
Right, exactly. And so we were at Department of Social Services, and I'm working. Now, do I go all the way back? All the way back?
Yeah, we can go all the way back. Hey, we putting it all out. I was up there getting the benefits.
Look, I said, let me make sure I can go all the way back.
You can go all the way back.
Yeah, all the way back. So I was a social worker back in 2000. That was 2009, wasn't it?
That was 2009,
yeah.
Yes.
Wow. And so I met Brandi in an employment program. And pretty much from there, everything went on from there. She was in this employment program, really kind of had that desire to do more and succeed. She went from being in the program to actually being an intern at Department of Social Services, and to actually becoming employed at Department of Social Services. So it's an amazing, you have an amazing story. You really have an amazing story. And so we kind of connected, from the time that she was just receiving those services and in that employment program. I could really see, the drive that you had during that time. And we started talking business, and I don't even know how that came up, but we just started talking business.
Randomly, because I knew you had already had yours, and I was like, I remember you were kind of helping me. I'm like, look, I want to start this business. I want to start a mobile massage business.
Yeah,
I think it'll be good. Would you mind looking up my business plan? And you were one of the first people to look at my business plan from Pamper Us, and you was like, all right, I think you can do it. I was like, all right, LaNiece, I'm about to do it.
Yeah, about to do it.
I did, and
exactly.
I love our relationship because, you know, I love the transition of the relationship from going from you being my social worker, that's actually being co-worker, to you being my supervisor.
Right.
Always been an amazing guiding factor for me and then
Oh, thank
balancing
you.
family, here girl, balancing family, entrepreneurship, and being a social worker. That's
Yeah,
a whole other type of, you know, stress level. So
indeed.
transitioning to like when you left, so, you know, LaNiece had a baby. We had a little baby. Was it Michaela?
Michaela, yes.
Michaela, okay, I be
Uh-huh.
on it, Michaela. And then I remember we was talking, and I was like, "LaNiece, you gonna come back?" You was
Yes,
like,
and I was like,
"Oh no!"
child, I don't know about that.
I was like, "You gonna come back?" You was like, "I don't know, I'm thinking about it." And you was gone for a minute, like months,
Yeah.
and then like you was like, "I'm not coming back. I'm going full time." And I was
Yep.
like, "That's all I needed to hear." I was like, "You know what? I'm
Yep.
going full time too, right
That's
behind
right.
you."
Yeah.
I said, "Oh, you leaving? I'm leaving."
Yeah.
Um, so from there though, from
Mhm.
there it just got exciting. You know, just being able to
Yeah.
talk to LaNiece about transitioning out, how to plan my transition. You are always an amazing guiding piece for me.
Oh,
To grow
thank
and
you.
pamper us and where I am now. So I'm excited to have you on here.
Oh, I'm glad to even, even make a difference, that way and stuff. And you actually, I thank you for having me on your show because you're still, even with seeing everything that you've like gone through and where you are now, that's an inspiration to myself and to lots of other people just to see that hey, it can be done. All you have to do, you put your mind to it and you work hard at it and it can definitely be done. So
Child, heavy prayer. Don't forget about that prayer because it's
that's
heavy, girl.
heavy,
It's
heavy on
heavy.
the
It's
prayer,
heavy. I need them. Look.
heavy.
But LaNiece, tell us a little bit more about your business. You have
Okay.
an amazing business, and what gave you the opportunity to be able to quit DSS?
Yes. Okay. So I'm going to go back to probably about 2009, 2010. I went to a salon and got a relaxer. Now my hair is natural under this, of course, but um, so back in about 2010, somewhere around there, went to a salon, got a relaxer. Relaxer caused some of my hair to come out at the top of my head. And so I was like, okay, this is not going to work. I can't walk around, with this hair missing at the top of my head. And so I basically had to start like researching ways to regrow my hair. So, when I look back at like liquid gold and the process of creating liquid gold, had I not had that bad relaxer, there probably would be no liquid gold. So I was in this process of researching products. I used some products that were on the market at the time that didn't work, or they just weren't a good match for what I was looking for. And so I created my own product. And so about 2 years later, in 2011, I remember hitting like that go button on the Google ads to try to sell that that product. And so every day I'm sitting here like, please, I just want to order. I just want to order, like just
I
one,
want one, baby.
just
Just one
one.
booking. I
Right.
remember them
Just
days.
one order. And I remember the first order that came through. I remember the customer's name. And she's actually still, she'll still buy maintenance products and stuff now. But it was just amazing. And so once I got that first sale, and then the next sale, and then the next sale, and it wasn't like it was a fast process because I might get one sale and then it might be days before the
Mm-hmm.
next sale come in, so it was a slower process, but once it caught on, it kept moving, and I had that desire to grow it into something more than just a kind of like that side hustle. You hear people say, yeah, I want to have a side hustle. Well, that's fine and dandy, but if you want something more, like you really have to put more time and more effort into that. And so that's really what I did. And I had a lot of family support, a lot of DSS support. Folks at DSS, I was bringing products so y'all could sample.
Come on, girl. I'm still trying to
Right.
get some of that mist that's been sold out since
Exactly.
Christmas, girl, on these edges, honey, because
Right.
it's dry.
Yeah. So at the beginning of 2014, it's just amazing. You know how they say, if you have a vision, you need to write that vision down.
Come
You know,
on,
if
make it
you, yeah,
plain. That's
if
from the
you
good
expect
book.
it, right? If you expect this to happen for you in your life, you need to write this down. So, at the beginning of 2014, we had our DSS planners, the big calendars and stuff.
Yeah.
And so on my little, the little calendar, I turned to this was in January, beginning of January. So in the calendar, I said, you know what? And my birthday is in November. So I said, you know what? By November of 2014, I'm going to be working full time with Liquid Gold.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote it down and really didn't do anything else. Now there were things, of course, that I did to make sure I could obtain that goal. But I wrote it down, and as the year progressed and as things kind of went on, everything literally really just fell in place. And I started making sure that, of course, financially, you want to make sure you're good before just hopping out there. So I wouldn't have hopped out there if I didn't know, I'd had some, savings and things like that, because you want to really be prepared. Having a vision is one thing, but you really need to have that preparation for it. But then November 2014, I turned in my 2-week notice.
Yes, ain't no better feeling. Ain't no better
Right.
feeling, girl.
Exactly. And I left that, like people would say, I left that good government job, to go out on my own.
Girl, I'm walked up out of there like,
exactly.
If you can, look.
Right. I remember one of my girlfriends, she said, when you leave out those doors, she was like, it's going to be like this weight is going to be lifted, and it's just unexplainable. And truly it was. Like, I walked out the doors and I was like, okay, the door's closing behind me for the last time. I'm in the parking lot.
Ain't gonna work no more.
Right. That doesn't work. So yes, I did a little happy dance in the parking lot that night. But so it's been a journey. Entrepreneurship, it really is a journey. It's a learning process. Not every day is going to be, sometimes you see entrepreneurs that are out there and business owners that are out there, and you see this final product, the finished product, and you think, hey, all days have been great, but this, not every day is great. It is a learning process. Luckily, I learned pretty quickly.
Girl,
so that
losing money makes you learn real quick.
Right. You learn very fast. And then too, one of the things too, over the years, I have really, I was into a lot of different businesses, and, I'm not going to call them failures. I'm not going to say they were business failures. I'm going to say they were all learning opportunities.
Yeah,
but
I like that.
yeah, but I had a lot of learning opportunities because I went out there, just creating businesses and doing things. And there's a saying, it says, if you build it, they will come, That's not really true. You've got to do the work.
That's a lie. It ain't true. It's a lie. If you build it, they will not come.
Exactly. They don't just come. You got to put work in, and you've got to, be prepared and have all these things set. So it's been a journey, but it's been a rewarding journey. It's been one where there is more freedom to spend time with family and friends and things like that. So it's rewarding. It's rewarding. So I would do it. If I had to do it all over again, I would definitely do it all over again.
Girl,
sure.
Definitely 1,000,000 quadrillion times every time. So cool. Well, thank you for sharing that. Definitely thank you for sharing that. For anybody that's just joined us, as we go through our topics and discussions of the evening, if you have any questions, any comments, anything you want to know, please drop it in the chat box. We will answer it as soon as we see it. We'll kind of, within our next break in between transitions, we'll definitely make sure we answer any questions that you have, because we want to make sure that you guys are fully prepared for what full-time entrepreneurship looks like. Because I know what Instagram makes it look like, and I know what Facebook makes it look like, and that's not true. It is true, but it ain't all the way true. So tonight we're gonna cover some really good tips on how you can transition into full-time entrepreneurship, and if you have transitioned, how to maintain that.
Right. Definitely.
So before we get started into like the meat and potatoes of the day, I definitely want to share with you guys about Be the Entrepreneur, what we do and how we can help you. Our goal is to strategize, implement, and empower new and inspiring entrepreneurs to be able to start their business effectively and grow it effectively without missing those foundational tips that kind of keep businesses from growing, especially minority businesses. Some of the services that we do offer are our How to Start a Business in 30 Days ebook. It includes 8 digital ebooks that you can go through from the vision phase all the way to how to pitch your business to investors. We provide every state of everything that you need to do, including digital fillable templates. So that way, by the time you finish this whole series, you have a complete business plan that you can use to start getting investors. We have something for every type of entrepreneur that you are. If you are a self-starting entrepreneur, so let's say if you the type like, just give me what I need to do and I can make money from it, then we have our Institute of Entrepreneurship, which will be launching on March 1st. And basically what that is your own self-paced learning system where you go through each book and each stage of entrepreneurship at your own pace. So let's say if you work full-time, when you get off at 5, at 6, you can hop onto our platform and start building your business day by day at your own pace. I love this program because it's perfect for anybody who wants to start a business. Because I know sometimes when you're thinking about starting a business, it can be confusing. Like, where do I start? Do I do the business plan first? How do I do the business plan if I don't know my numbers? Where do I get my numbers? What do these numbers mean? So we break down that process and we take you step by step. We hold your hand. We your homie. We want to make sure that everybody is building their business right. In addition, if you are a business owner that already has a business and you're looking to pivot your business, so let's say Corona has affected your business and you like, I need to figure out how to pivot this and still make money, then I would suggest our ebook series, which is available now, How to Start a Business, and you will get all 8 ebooks. You can buy one ebook for a specific issue, or you can buy the whole series and complete it yourself. So we have talked about your vision. We have topics on how to do your business market analysis, how to analyze your competition. We also talk about your SWOT, like what are your business risks? How do you prepare your business to be able to overcome those risks? We also have our budget bundle that includes 10 budgets, including your cash flow, your 3-year forecast, 5-year forecast, kind of all those budgets that you need to start your business. We have those available for you and they're digitally fillable. So once you put in the numbers, automatically calculated for you. Then, of course, we have our biggest ebook, which is our e-business plan, and that literally is a full business plan template. And once you finish that, it has everything that you need to run a business. So if you're thinking about starting a business, that would be the book for you. If you're at a part in your business where you are looking to take your business to the market, you done everything you needed to do, but you're like, hey, Brandi, like, what do I need to do to start getting this out to clients? Our book 6, Go to the Market Action List, that would be the ebook that you would need. It's going to tell you exactly what you need to do to start making money now that you plan. Our 7th ebook, which is Build the Brand, that ebook is for people who are already out there. They kind of already getting a little bit of customers, but they like, how do I get my brand out there? How do I solidify everything that's in my brand? And this book will be for you. And lastly, we have our Be the Pitch book, which is one of my favorite books. It teaches you how to pitch to investors. So if you are an entrepreneur who is a self-starter and you just need the materials, these 2 would be the best for you. Now, for my babies, for my entrepreneurs that's like, Brandi, I don't know what I'm doing. Girl, I don't even know if I'm going to be an entrepreneur. And I will highly suggest I Be the Entrepreneur Academy. And I'm super excited about this. It launches on March 1st. And basically, it's an online learning school where you go through each part of entrepreneurship and you have a mentor that mentors you through each part. So when you come with your vision, let's say you got 3 business ideas and you like, Brandi, I need to organize these ideas, see how I can make money. You will be able to complete a lesson and talk to an expert in that specific area. And we take you from vision. We teach you how to do your competition marketing. We have a lawyer on there. We have a human resource expert. Every person that you need to start your business, you get the templates that you need to complete it, and you also get to speak to an expert. That is our Be the Entrepreneur Academy, and that will be launching in March. And that's perfect for full-time employees who are transitioning into full-time entrepreneurship. It's also for people who are retiring. I know it's a lot of people retiring right now. If you're retired and you're looking for a way to make that additional income, this will be perfect for you. And for those entrepreneurs, like I said at the beginning, who just don't know what to do and where to start, but they know they have a good business idea that's going to grow. And then lastly, for those people, and there's a lot of people like that, like this, that are like, I think I want to start a business, but I don't want to do it now. Like, I'm good at my job. I might not want to move, but I'm thinking about it. Then our Be the Tribe group would be for you. It's going to be an online hub where you get access to small materials, start building your business on a monthly basis. You get connection to experts. You get unlimited connection to me and my team to ask any business questions that you have, all a part of the membership program. And that will be launching in March as well. So we have a lot of amazing things, no matter where you are in that phase of entrepreneurship. You can learn more about that by following me on b.the.entrepreneur, and I'll put that in there. Hey, Melody girl. And go on there. It's going to be dropping March 1st. And go ahead and get signed up. We want to make sure you got everything you need. So, what to expect today? Sorry, I'm clicking too much. We're going to be doing a free Be the Entrepreneur consultation giveaway at the end of the show. So 3 people will be able to get a free 30-minute consultation, and I'm super excited about it. Our last 2 weeks, it was amazing. People were sharing, and we were able to get our 3 people. So I'm looking forward to consulting 3 people for free. We got 30 minutes to ask any questions that you have. That's going to be at the end of the show. So make sure you stay tuned. We're going to be talking about organic solution-based discussions, which means everything that we talk about today is going to be things that you can take notes on and you can start doing tomorrow. I want to make sure that everything we do is something that can be beneficial to you as an entrepreneur right now, not something you got to spend too much time on, but like boom, boom, boom. I'm all about action. And then at the end, of course, and throughout, we'll have our live Q&A session. For anybody that has any questions, please don't forget to tune in. So, like I said, LaNiece, your quote of the day was "Just do it." You could have chosen any quote. So, why is it that you chose that quote?
Just do it. Just do it. The reason behind that is a lot of times I think when we start thinking about entrepreneurship or thinking about starting a business, a lot of times we get, what do they call it? Analysis of paralysis analysis, however they say it, that's what we get. And so we end up in this situation where we're trying to overanalyze everything. And, at a certain point, you just have to say, hey, I'm going to do this. This is my plan. And I'm not saying just do it, meaning jump out there without a plan. You definitely want to have a plan, want to have that in place. But, you got to take that action and just say, hey, just going to do it. When I think about 2014, when I, turned in that resignation letter. And, I went back and forth with myself almost the whole year.
Right. It's like, boy, I'm changing. Like, this about to get real.
Exactly. And especially those weeks leading up to me having to go in and give the supervisor that resignation letter, at a certain point I had to say, you know what, I just got to do it. I'm just going to walk in there and, I've prepared myself enough. Everything is in order. So now I'm just going to do it and step out there and, and get it done. And if you have the proper preparation, hey, things, I honestly believe things will work out with that proper preparation.
And anything is possible. So yeah. I'm excited. So running into our discussions of the evening, this is the meat and potatoes. And I'm super excited because I think this is going to really help a lot of people who are transitioning out. Mm-hmm. So, LaNiece, we talked about, of course, the excitement of rolling up out of that job, boom, boom, booming. But I want to talk about the importance of proper employment exit because I haven't seen it personally, but I've heard of people who are like, I want to start a job and they rolled out. I mean, I want to start my business. I'm going to do it full time and they didn't roll it out. So let's talk about the importance of proper employment exit and what that looks like.
Okay. So, and I know the feeling among folks, especially when you've got your business rolling and you want to roll with it and you want to say, hey, peace out. I'm out of here to this supervisor, that company. But, and there were several times that I wanted to do that. But the thing is, with everything, and, you never want to burn a bridge. That's number one. You don't want to burn that bridge because you never know when you might have to go back over that bridge and travel back over that bridge. Now, of course, the plan is not to go back over that bridge, but those relationships that you've built, while you were an employee. They may become very important to those networks that you need to grow after you are working as a full-time entrepreneur. So it's very, very important that whatever the procedure is for that particular company, to follow that procedure, because you never want, someone to say, hey, she came in and flipped the desk over and said she's out of here,
Girl,
so
hey.
I'm gone. So you don't want to do that, definitely. And, and as much as you might want to get out of there, just following that procedure, because you never know when, you might have a contract coming up, with wherever you used to work at, all of those different things. So you want to make sure that, you follow that plan, those procedures, and do what you need to do. Just, you never want to burn that bridge. Never.
Right. And I totally agree. And speaking personally, DSS, when I left, they were my first corporate, reoccurring contracts. So
Right.
I was so glad that, excited when I left. The fact that, I felt like I was a hard worker. I felt like I made amazing relationships.
Oh,
and, I was able to serve DSS 2 to 3 times a year with a whole corporate contract, the most money I've ever had. So I was
right.
So not burning that bridge is definitely important, y'all. Make sure you set up a plan. Whatever your company's procedures are for you to leave, make sure you're following those, just in case you got to go back. There was a couple of times when that first 6 months, every 2 weeks, every other Friday wasn't the Friday. I'm like, what? Social worker wasn't that bad. You know what I'm saying? So
it
ain't that bad, so what? But we rolled that thing out and we kept on going. So step one is to make sure that you have a proper employment exit strategy and plan before you leave. Don't do it on emotion. Don't do none of that, because when you start getting to the end, when you're ready to leave, it's like every little thing kind of trigger you. Like, boy, I can't wait to get out of here. She looked at me wrong. I can't wait to get up out of here. But you gotta ride it out. You gotta ride it out.
That is so true. That is so true.
So at the time, both of us, of course, were we married, had families, we had everything that we were going on, in addition to being full-time employees, in addition to running our businesses. So LaNiece, for our parents out there, our mothers, our fathers who may be balancing entrepreneurship and family life, what was some of the things that you and your husband kind of talked about and discussed when you were preparing to transition into full-time employment?
Yeah. So one of the big things, and this happened before even leaving, social services. And so you have to have that conversation, especially if you're married. You have to have that conversation, because you don't want just one day to be like, I left the job and I'm going to be working here, full time. So you want to look at finances. Can the household be able to sustain, this period of time where the income might not be where it needs to be? Or, when you leave a certain employer and you're moving on into full-time entrepreneurship, things might be going very well. You might be having, wonderful days where you're making a lot of sales, a lot of money. But as we all know, in entrepreneurship, not every day is high. Some of those days, you on top of the hill, and the next day you might be in a valley.
Underneath the bridge, look, just in a fetal position. I was balling last week. Last week.
Right, exactly. Like the money's coming in, and all of a sudden, it goes to that valley, and it's like, oh gosh, maybe I should rethink this. But so you really want to have that clear communication with that spouse, to and because entrepreneurship, when you're switching from employment where every 2 weeks you have a guaranteed check, every 2 weeks,
girl,
that's a wonderful thing, right?
that girl, just to know every other Friday the direct deposit was coming.
Direct deposit, you just know that money's in the account. So when you switch over to entrepreneurship, it's not like that. There is no every 2 weeks. It just kind of depends. How it's day to day. You're looking at everything from day to day. And so you have to have, which is very important, I can't even stress it enough, to have that spousal moral support,
Girl.
if nothing else, and we know you got to have that spousal support. It's so important to have that when you are transitioning. And if you don't have that, not to say that you can't start your full-time entrepreneurship, not say you can't do that, but then if you know you don't have the spousal support, then what you have to do is start making connections with other folks that can be part of that moral support. So if there are other family members that are entrepreneurs or small business owners, then it means, hey, let me start making these connections and these networks so that you do have that support, because that first year, literally that first year as a full-time entrepreneur, you're learning a lot, and you really have to have that support system. Someone that's out there and that's experiencing the same, types of things as you are. So that's super important. Definitely.
Exactly. It's so important to, and I'm glad you went into that. You need a tribe. Like, it's no way to be a business owner by yourself. Even if you have one other person that you can talk to about being an entrepreneur, you need that outlet. It's no different than working at a job and using your coworkers as an outlet. You need somebody on your side, because it's days, even when your business is streamlined and it's making money, it's days where you are worn down and beaten down. So, if you don't have a partner, it's definitely important for you to focus on your tribe. And your tribe is one of the most important things. And I say, as you transition out, prepare your tribe. And it don't have to be a lot of people. It can be one person that you can count on. I always like two. Guys can have a backup plan. So I would say, if you got two, 2 to 3 entrepreneur friends, they ain't got to be your best friends. They ain't got to be your homies. 2 to 3 people that you can trust with your goals, frustrations, fears, just to have that support. You want to start lining them up, because you want that support. You're going to need them as you transition out. So I thank you for bringing that up as well. So just piggybacking off what LaNiece said, preparing your family for the employment transition. People do not do this without talking to your family. That includes your kids as well. Like, when I left, at the time my son was younger, but I talked to my daughter, about what that would look like when mommy's going to be home all day. You know what I'm saying? What it means to come home, not talking. Like, you know what I'm saying? You have to communicate with them, because you got to realize, for your family, this is a transition as well.
It is.
You know what I'm saying? No longer are you going into the office. For most of us, we're working from home. So you got to be able to set up boundaries with your spouse, your partner, as well as setting up boundaries with your kids. Like, hey, during this time, mommy's working. Hey, don't play. Look, and then even with your spouse or your partner, your significant other, especially if they're not entrepreneurs too. That's why I see a lot of clash in it. Entrepreneurs who are in relationships or married to somebody that's not an entrepreneur. It can be really, really difficult for them to understand the type of grind, work ethic, and time that goes into starting a business. So the only way to kind of overcome some of those barriers and conflicts that come with dating someone who's not an entrepreneur is to have effective communication. I learned that the hard way, but and just talking to your partner. Like, if you got a long night, it's gonna be a crazy night. Go ahead and let them know, hey, babe, I'm gonna be on to about 10 o'clock tonight, so don't be messing with me. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta have these communications. I need you to get the kids, or I might need you to cook. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it alleviates a lot of issues if you talk to your spouse about what you need as an entrepreneur, because they don't know. They have the security of going to work every day. They work, they get paid. They don't know how it feels to be like, if you don't work, you don't get paid. Like, if you ain't out here sharing these Facebook posts, meeting with people, you're not getting no revenue. You can't really have an off day and make money when you first start. And so that's why it's so important to have that support and talk to your family, partners, and children when you make the transition.
Yeah, definitely. And even to add to that as well, a lot of times folks think that when you become an entrepreneur that you have all this free time all of a sudden. And it's just like, no, if anything, I'm working more hours, than I was working when I was at DSS, like that, especially the first couple of years of when I'm in that learning process. I was working a whole lot more than 40 hours a week, but it was for myself. So it was fine, but you don't have that time like people think.
What I do, my homegirl used to pick on me. She'd be like, I got on your Instagram, you was playing golf. Right. That's That's 7 years after putting in work, though. I wasn't paying
Right.
off in 2016 when I first left.
Exactly.
Girl, eyes burning.
Right.
Look,
Yep.
man. People
Indeed.
gotta realize, it's a
Mhm.
process in everything. So
Yeah.
sacrifices that you make at the beginning and that proper
Mhm.
preparation that you have at the beginning when you first leave, it makes it easier. It doesn't make it easy,
Right.
but it makes it easier. That way
Easier.
you kind of knock out your goals, get your income right, and then you'll be able to have that freedom of time a little bit more to do things that are important to you.
Right.
Um, so let's talk about the schedule. Because I know when I first went full time, 4th of July,
Mhm.
2016, it's like a
All
baptism.
right.
It's like it never
Yep.
leaves you. You know what I'm saying? It's like you just don't.
Right.
But
Uh-huh.
girl, on that good old day of July 4th, 2016, when I rolled
Uh-huh.
out, I ain't gonna lie. Like I was excited that first day when I left, but when I
Uh-huh.
got home, like when I got up that next morning, I was like, I don't really know what to do. Like I really did not know
Uh-huh.
what to do for a few weeks because I was so used to working full time and then kind of signing in stuff again for us. I'm like, what do I do with a whole day of working on my
Very.
business?
Mhm.
So I would love for you to share some of your tips and how you kind of
Mhm.
organize your day to go ahead and be prepared as an entrepreneur.
Okay, definitely. One of the things, and I was kind of like you, on that, you already turned in your resignation, so that next day, when you finally, can kind of finish at that job, and then you have that next day where it's like, wow, I'm up. I don't have anything else to do. How am I going, how am I going to plan this day? And so for me, one of the things when I was actually still working at Department of Social Services, I had already, obtained an office off site, but I was literally working DSS from 8 to 5 approximate, and then leaving and going to the office to make products. And, my family was helping, they were bottling stuff
I
and doing all kinds of stuff.
remember.
It was a family affair for real. And so one of the things that really helped because and it was kind of similar to what I was doing at DSS in terms of first thing in the morning, writing down. I like lists. I didn't always like lists, but I like lists
I
now.
got lists. Girl, I got like,
Right.
girl, you ready.
Right. Lists all over the place. So I really like lists and having, when that morning starts, writing out and saying, hey, these are the things that I want to accomplish or need to accomplish, today. And really kind of sticking to that list because you do have, with a lot of entrepreneurs, especially new entrepreneurs, they have all this newfound kind of freedom, so to speak. And if you're not disciplined with that newfound freedom, things can really spiral out of control because there's no one saying, and you don't have to, like, you're not answering to anyone saying, okay, I have to be at the office at this time, or I have to be here at this time. But if you don't put those parameters in place, things will spiral out of control very, very quickly and stuff.
Right.
So yeah. Yeah. So for me, I kind of like set my schedule. So it was still kind of similar to DSS and, have kids. So, it was drop the kids off to school, go to the office and work. It wasn't going home and, kind of chilling out and all this kind of stuff. I had to make sure that I stayed focused. And for me, I'm one of those ones that I do better in the office as opposed to at home and working. And stuff. So, every day it was going into the office, taking out that checklist and using those calendars, and really, staying focused on that schedule. And, and even, I have friends and family that they still think, and that's what a lot of entrepreneurs, that you have all of this free time. And it's also kind of explaining to their family and friends that, hey, yeah, I am an entrepreneur, but, between the hours of 10 and 12, I'm making products, so I really can't, I can answer the phone, but if I don't answer the phone, why? Because I'm in here whipping up products, or
Come
I'm here
on,
packaging it, I'm whipping it and doing those things. So it's very important. As I can't even stress that enough. Even now, like I'm still, I'm going into the office on a daily basis. Yeah, there's more flexibility and all those kind of things, but I know what I need to get done during that particular day. And so I make sure that those things have gotten done. Either I'm using a checklist or I use this here cell phone and I'm using the different apps in there to just help, to really stay on track with stuff. It's really, really important. Definitely.
Right. I agree. And if you're not like a sticky note person, like for me, I use like desk ones. I use desk. I got
Okay.
regular sticky
Yeah.
notes, and then I have
Mhm.
like she said, on your phone. So I know I have a Samsung. So I know I would suggest downloading a task app. Anyone that's compatible to your phone. And I love task apps, and that's T, and
Yeah.
I'm putting it in the comments. Task apps are great because you can put in the exact, like every morning I'll put in the task, I'll put in the
Mhm.
time for the task, and I just roll that
Mhm.
thing. And I love the fact that when I
Right.
complete a task, I would just tap my phone, boom, that
Mhm.
task is gone. I got my next thing. And I know for
Right.
me, I write down my top 5 tasks that I need to complete by the end of the day. Like, all right, Brandi,
Mhm.
like what needs to be done, and I prioritize it. Like stuff that has to be done today.
Yeah.
My
Mhm.
top 2 to 3, and then 4 and 5 is like some stuff I can start on the day, but if I don't finish it, I
Mhm.
ain't really. So you always want to prioritize, and
Mhm.
don't overwork yourself. Don't put too much at one time. Remember, you're a full-time entrepreneur now. So when you're balancing both, it's easy to be like, oh, let me hurry up and get this done. But remember, like, I'm not saying you got a lot of time, but now you have 8 hours or more, for a
Mhm.
traditional entrepreneur to work on your business. So really focus on, for me, it depends on the type of person you are. I'm a morning person, so I get up at 4. So from 4
Wow.
to like, right, right. But I need it because
Yeah.
from 4 to 8, I don't have any phone calls. I ain't got no emails. I can literally work 4 hours nonstop. And that four
Mhm.
hours nonstop of uninterrupted work is equivalent to a full 8-hour day when I'm answering calls, somebody's
Oh,
sending
yeah.
me emails.
Mhm.
So for me, my time is very valuable for me. That's one of the, outside of money, like time is one of the reasons why I became an entrepreneur. So
Mhm.
I'm like, if I can put in 4 hours before people even get up, that means at
Mhm.
1 o'clock, I done already worked the 8-hour day. I'm off. People just get into
Right.
the river. I'm off for the day. I'm about to go, play my golf and whatnot. So,
Right.
it's all about lining up your schedule to what works for you. And I always do my hard tasks first. So if it's something that I need to focus on, like I don't need no distraction, I do that first thing in the morning, because when after like 10, 12, around there, I'm
Mhm.
not really focused. I kind of do a little closing out to get out. So
Mhm.
that works differently. I know I have some clients that I consult, and they're nighttime people. So like in the morning they sleep, come about like 2 o'clock, 2 to 12, they ready, they pumping, they working, boom, boom, boom. So I would say find the best schedule that works for you. You know what I'm saying? If you're a morning person, set a time, set a time, a block of time for your hard tasks, like tasks if you need to directly focus. Put that in a box of time where you won't be distracted. And if you don't have a non-distraction time, then you definitely need to reevaluate your schedule, because you got to have that non-interrupted time as an entrepreneur to really get that task done and get into that grit of growing your business.
Definitely, definitely. And to even add to what you were saying about that, you need to have that time where you can rest, because you have a lot, and I understand, when folks, especially when they're first starting a business, you hear this thing where people say, well, I don't need to sleep now, I can sleep when I'm dead.
Girl, that
Well,
team no
no,
sleep. Mm-mm.
you need to sleep now. That team no sleep is really not where it's at. You really have, and I, even now I still have to remind myself sometimes, because I'm in the office and I'm working and I'm like, you know what, I haven't even got up from this desk, I haven't even got up to just
Ain't
take a
even
moment.
ate, girl. Ain't
Right.
even ate. It's
Exactly.
been days when I'm like, I ain't even ate today. Like I've
Right.
been literally working.
Mhm. Yep. Yep. So definitely want to have that, time, or just be cognizant of that during the day. Like, have I taken, even if it's 15 minutes of just some time, just to kind of sit back and, kind of relax a little bit, and, and get back to it, because the work is going to be there. It's definitely
It's And it's infinite. It does not end. Like for
right.
me, I'm the queen of 30-minute naps. Like waking up at 4, my body usually
Uh-huh.
crash about like
Right.
1-ish, 2. So like
Okay.
I'll take me like a 30-minute nap. Like I train my
Right.
body, I'll hop in the bed, knock out for 30 minutes, and I'll pop up and then like I'm right back on it. So it's
Right.
training your body, and that works differently for
Mhm.
everybody. Like I got some friends, they like, girl, no, I can't take a 30, because if I lay down, it's
Can't
over.
do it.
Like I'm taking a nap now. So know
Yeah.
yourself and know what works for you.
Mhm.
I think that would be
Right.
the key to that portion.
Yeah.
So we know that when you first leaving that job, that money be tight, tight, honey. So I know for me, bootstrapping is the key. Even with where I am now, like I'm
Mhm.
all about saving a dime. Like I'm like, like
Oh yeah.
how can I bootstrap? Like, can I do this by myself, or do I need to pay somebody? Like I'm still
Right.
contemplating. Like
Mhm.
the person is like, yep, you get, I want you. I'm like, how long is it gonna take?
Right.
So what are some bootstrapping tips? And bootstrapping is basically, guys, when you use your own money, either from your full-time side hustles to fund your business. Um,
Mhm.
I'm a big stickler for that. Like I'm all about funding, I'm all about getting investors and all that stuff. But for me, I like to make my own money, so ain't nobody tell me nothing about what I do. But you know what I'm saying? So, what are some bootstrapping tips that you give to people who just transition out? They're trying to grow their business, but they really don't know, they're trying to just save money.
Right. Okay. So I can tell you some of the things that I did along the way. So my business started in 2011, of course. And so for 3 years, as I was making money and the money was coming into the business, for the majority of that time, the money that was coming in, it went into an account that I didn't touch. So I was using the money that I was earning from DSS to fund the business. And so sometimes that meant, cutting out like the extras, all these extras, like, I really don't need to go shopping every week. I really don't need those extra, so it's the priorities change,
Girl,
when you're looking at, yeah, it changes a lot when you look at, okay, I know I want to be able to run this business full time someday. In 2011, it was like someday. I didn't know when it would be. And so it was like, I got to make some changes or whatever so that someday can hopefully be sooner than later. And so a lot of it was just, not getting too excited when the money starts rolling in.
girl, you get excited too,
Get
girl. I got a
excited.
little money dance I do
You
every
get
time I get
excited.
a lot of money.
Right. You get excited. And as that account, you're looking in the bank account, as it's growing, you're like, wow, I could go and do this. I could go and do that. But it's really staying focused. Still having, you got to treat yourself along the way. You have those milestones and you say, hey, I made it here. So, I'm going to treat myself, but not going overboard with that. But a lot of it, and there's nothing wrong with continuing that full-time job until you get that your business to where it needs to be. There's nothing wrong with running both. And then, but at a certain point, and that's the point that I came to, and Brandi, I'm sure you as well, at a certain point when you're working that full-time job, you get to a point where you're like, my full-time job is costing me money on my business. So I
And
have
that's when
to
you need to transition, baby.
right. At that point when it's like, because I'd literally be sitting at my desk like, I need to be making some products because I got stuff to ship out.
Right, right. I mean, you start
like,
calculating your time to
yeah.
money. Like,
hmm
I'm like, shoot,
Yep.
if I was at the crib, I could have booked 4 massages today. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But I'm sitting
hmm
up here and I know that I'm only gonna
Right.
make this amount per day.
Right. Exactly. So, and and then my mind started going other places. So I'm thinking about the business when I'm on the job, and I'm like, you know what? I don't want to mess up and get fired because I'm so focused on my business.
It
So
take over
focused
your
on my
mind,
business.
girl. It take over your
Right.
mind.
Exactly. So, all of those things were kind of going through my mind and it was just like, you know what? It's time. I knew it was time. But yeah, a lot of it was just, that money that was coming in from the business, just leaving that in an account. Some people will, another way I didn't go this route, but there's nothing wrong with it. Some people will go more family support. There might be, or loans and things like that. For me, and that was just for me. I was just like, I want to do. I want to do it.
I want to
So at
make my
the end,
own
I
money.
did it right. I want to make my own money. I want to do this thing. I don't want to owe anybody any money. Nothing wrong with that, but that was kind of the way. But there are loan programs and things like that that's out there. But, for me, it was just really like, hey, I want to do this and I don't want to be owing a whole lot of folks, this money because that takes a big
Exactly.
chunk out of your revenue later on. So for sure.
Exactly. I totally agree. And that's definitely important. I love how you said about how you took your business income and put it into an account that you didn't touch. And guys, we
Mhm.
not, and for some people, they kind of use their side hustle as extra money. So if that's the case, that's cool. but you still want to save. So even if you're not doing like LaNiece did and putting the whole amount of your of your business revenue or side hustle revenue into an account, at least take half of it. Like even if you have to take half for yourself and take the other half and put it in the account, you want to take a certain percentage of what you're bringing in while you're working full time and you have that support of full time income. Take that and put it to the side. That can be used later when you transition as a savings. That can help you get some of that bulk stuff, especially if you're getting like a business, a venue, a location. If you need products, that money is there for you to use if you need it. You got to have a backup. Another thing I know for me that I've done, and LaNiece will kind of just alternate, and we'll let you share something else if you're ready. But for me, another thing I still do, is y'all start with free and then upgrade as needed. I meet with my clients, and when they tell me how much they're paying out already, and you don't even have a business plan, that's a problem. I know when you first start as an entrepreneur, it's so exciting. It's like I can do this and go fast. I can do this, buy this. The next thing you know, you got all these subscriptions and you broke. And you like, I'm not getting any clients. So my advice is do free first. Even though free might not give you everything you need, sometimes it's a lot of free stuff out here that work amazingly. But if not, start off with the free apps. Like start off with the free social media posting. Start off with the free video editing software. And then as your business grow, as you increase your revenue, or as you have more needs that program offers, then you upgrade your account to a paying account. But when you first starting it, even as you maintaining, you want to keep your expenses as low as possible. Even now with me, I'm like, shoot, what really a premium plan, or can I take this down to the basic plan? Like I'm evaluating. It's important to do that. You only want to buy things that you need for your business, like things that you know, especially at the beginning, things that are going to be go give you that ROI, which is also known as your return on investment. Like you want to spend money on things that you know is gonna work. Like so I would say if you just starting out, you might not want to go to a TV station and be like, hey, I want to buy an ad, and they tell you that ad 1,500, you gonna 130,000 people, and then boom, you ain't reached 100-some thousand people, and you $1,500 out. Where you put that 1,500. And if your business is established, if you are targeting your target market, you're going to make your money. You can take that 1,500, put it on some Google ads or some Facebook ads, that directly to your target market. Literally, you create it to exactly who you want, like where they stay. And 1,500 can get you that return on investment because you're getting directly to your target market. So we're not saying don't spend money. We're just saying be wise in how you spend money. Spend it on things that's going to get you money back, or at least get you clients.
Right, definitely. And to add up, I just remembered one of the businesses over the years that I started with a family, of course, but was this a rental guide magazine. And so I had this great idea, and we're going to have this rental guide and going to go around, take pictures of folks' houses and put it in this big magazine. And so, I just getting excited, went off and signed this big contract with a call center, signed a big contract with a printing company, signed all these things.
Like, we about to do this.
Excited. And then, the next month, as the months grew on, it was like, wait a minute now, nothing was really proven with this business concept. Nothing was proven. And, but that was another one of those lessons learned, along the way and stuff. So, folks, have a tendency to get excited, but you really want to make sure that you're, looking at that budget, making sure, hey, is there a budget for this? And are these proven concepts that I'm paying for and stuff? But yeah, a lot of learning experiences along the way. Indeed.
Definitely. Girl, definitely. I've never done that, like, because I just don't play with my money. Like, I'm like, girl, I'm breaking it down. I'm like, they be talking, I'm like, them numbers don't add up. I'm good.
Right.
Like, we can cut them 50%. I'm like, girl, if you can't cut me to I need 90% off, and then I'll do it. They're like, well, we can't do that. I'm like, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, but no thank you.
No, thank you.
Like, if you can't do no better than that.
Right. So the next bootstrapping tip that I would give is barter with other entrepreneurs, especially on the same level. Like y'all, if any entrepreneur that I've ever bartered a Pamper Us massage with, I want to tell you now, thank you. I appreciate you, because if I asked you to barter at the time, I ain't had no money. You know what I'm saying? I ain't even gonna lie. I ain't have no money. So I'm grateful for the people who take the opportunity to be able to, take massages and do services for me, including graphic services, all kind of services that I needed. I was able to barter, because it's like, if I can do something and you can do something, why not we work together and use our services to help each other? One thing I can say that I've been seeing now is that I don't know, I feel like to a certain extent, like people are getting away from the bartering thing, or people like, pay me what I'm worth. If you ain't got the money, then you ain't. And I'm like, bro, it's bigger than that. Like, money is important. Don't get me wrong, but you got to think past the money. If money is your only focus being an entrepreneur, you're gonna be miserable, and it's gonna be hard. It's gonna burn you out. It's all about relationships and networking. So when I think about bartering, it's bigger than you just doing something free for somebody else or anything like that. You making a new connection. Like, people that I bartered with, when I was able to pay, or now where I'm at, where my business has grown, I'm reaching back out to these people that gave me a chance at the beginning and did an amazing work, who were at the same place as new entrepreneurs. I'm reaching back out to them now, and now I'm able to pay them real good money and legit money and what they're worth, but just giving me a chance back then. So it's bigger than the product. It's bigger than that. You creating relationships of people that have a service you obviously need. And, you piggyback, and boom, you got your network already created from a relationship that you established before. So do you barter? Have you ever thought about is that something that you've done?
I haven't done, not in the sense of products for, because I'm in the product, industry.
Right.
It's a little different, but certainly in terms of when you think about idea swapping and things like that, and meeting with other entrepreneurs that already have the knowledge that I need, and then I know I've got some knowledge that they need, and then hey, we sit around the table and we swap that knowledge. So that's kind of, it's a little bit different, but also very important, because there's certain things that I don't know. I mean, like I said, there's so much to learn, like, along the way. And so I've been able to, hey, sit in a group of other entrepreneurs, and, we just swap ideas. Whatever my strengths are, I can teach what that is. And then that other entrepreneur teaches their strengths. And so at the end, we're all empowered with that additional information. So it really makes a difference.
It does. It does. And it gets us out of that, known crabs in the barrel, mindset. Like, oh, if I help them. No, baby. No, baby. I'm trying to help everybody. I want everybody to know what's up. I want everybody to know how you can start a business, how you can run a business, and how you can grow a business.
Right.
In a less strenuous way. Like I said, I would never say it's easy, because it's not easy, but I can definitely say that proper preparation makes it easier to scale and grow. Or if the business is not working and you need to pivot, you're gonna have everything in place to be able to pivot properly. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know what? I used to make you remember when I used to make scrubs and lotions?
Yeah, I remember. I remember this. Yeah.
I tell you, for a strong 6 months to a year, I'm not made for products. I'm not made to be in the kitchen whipping the work. My attention span short. I get the mixing running out of product. I'm like, you know what? Grapeseed oil is the same as avocado oil.
Put it all together.
Just put it all together. Look, I'm like, you know what, Brandi, you need to get out of this business, because this is not right. But it is good. It's sold. I mean, I sold products, but I just didn't like it. So knowing when to pivot as an entrepreneur is important too. Like you said, they're not failures, they're business learning lessons.
Right.
So we kind of covered this at the a little bit earlier, but in closing, I want to talk about we want to talk about your business network and protecting your professional energy. You know what I'm saying? By connecting with growth-minded entrepreneurs. What are some tips that you can give entrepreneurs on how to connect with or network with other entrepreneurs?
One of the things that I did early on, Facebook is a great resource if you get into the right groups on Facebook. especially if you, and I'm talking about business groups on Facebook, getting into the right business group, the right local business groups. And from there, we started having local meetups with other business owners. Because one of the things that's very different that I didn't expect is that's the social aspect of entrepreneurship. And meaning that, when I was at DSS, when we, and both Brandi, when we were at DSS, I mean, you got a whole building of folk you can talk to. You got your team that you could talk to, you got all these folks to talk to. And then all of a sudden, when you become an entrepreneur, depending on your business, you go from that to going to an office where you might have one employee. It might just be you. It might just be you and your spouse, might just be you and your kids. And all of a sudden it's like, wow, all my folks to talk to, they're gone. And so it's really important to have that network of other entrepreneurs, people that are in business that understand that day to day, of what goes on as being an entrepreneur, because sometimes you can call up someone that's not in business and they can't understand your stress. They don't understand that because they're not in that business. So I met a lot of really great people through some of the Facebook business groups that are here in Charlotte. And even to this day, like we still, have those communications via phone or virtual, and just, discussing just general business stuff and having business support, just having, someone there that you can just like bounce ideas off of is so important. But yeah, so that's what I've done and continue to do, because there's so much that you still can learn. No matter how many years you've been in business, it's still, having that different perspective is so important.
Right. Sure. I totally agree. Thank you so much for sharing. I don't even have nothing to say. Like, you literally like hit the nail on the head. I know for me, in closing of that, I would say connect with positive people. If you see yourself around entrepreneurs who are constantly like, talking bad, or they constantly discouraging, or they just don't have your back, you're not gonna make it, y'all. Yeah, it's gonna bring you down. It's gonna bring you down. Like, you need somebody that's like I got homegirls right now I can call. I'm like, girl, campus, be the entrepreneur, griller, everybody. I'm shutting it down. I'm about to just shut it down. She's like, girl, get your life together,
Right.
Breathe, breathe, just take the rest of the day off. So it's certain like coping skills that I put in place personally when I feel like I'm getting burnt out. Like, I just like, you know what, today I'm gonna take off. Or, I'll call my homegirl, like, girl, I don't really even need you to say nothing. I got friends I can do that with. And I got, then I call up like, girl, I need your opinion. So having those different network of friends is definitely important as you're transitioning out, y'all. I cannot stress it enough. You cannot do this by yourself.
Right.
It's impossible. It's literally impossible. There's no successful business owner, millionaire, billionaire, anybody that has done it by themselves. So getting a network is key in all of this. So in closing, LaNiece, are there any nuggets that you would like to share before we close out tonight?
I think the biggest one, of course, just do it, said that. But the biggest one is to have your vision, to write down that vision, and make a plan, be prepared, to make that plan. That's so important. And one of the things my dad would say is, hey, this next person is no smarter than I am. If she can be in business, if he can be in business and be successful, there's no reason why I can't do the same thing. So it's so important just, to believe in yourself, to believe that it's possible. But that all kind of goes back to that vision and having that vision for your future and what you want. Not only your future to look like, what do you want? If you have children, what do you want your children's future to look like? What do you want your family's future to look like? And create all of that, and this and make a plan. Make that plan clear, and then just do it. Just execute that plan, and move on. From there, because it's so important.
It's definitely important. Well, LaNiece, thank you so much for joining us today. In closing, before we go, I just want to let you know that we will be having our Talk It Out giveaway All you have to do is go to our Instagram at b.the.entrepreneur, share any post on your timeline or on your Facebook page, regardless. You can find us on Facebook and Instagram. Share any post on your timeline or your story and tag us in it. And the first two people that do that will receive a complimentary 30-minute session. I'll inbox you directly and we can go ahead and get your appointment set up. So that's just a quick way if you're an entrepreneur and you're looking for some tips, you want to get that stuff. This is the perfect time for you to get that business idea rolling. So head over to our page at the entrepreneur, share any post, and you will be entered to win our free session. Thank you guys so much again, and we will see you in 2 weeks for our next Talk It Out session. Thank you.
All right.
Bye.